happy Thursday, and welcome back to Tachy Talks. We've got a very exciting episode today. As you can see, we have a friend here with us, and this week we're going to be talking about getting into medical school after completing a nursing degree.
Well, I'm going to cut you off there. If you're listening on Spotify, you can't see that we have a guest.
I'm sorry. That was very thoughtless.
You have to be very inclusive.
I'm going to cut you off one more time and tell you that Abe's in our social bubble also.
Yeah.
Just
so
we'll put that one over
the guest that we have brought, I'm going to let Haley do it. I'm taking away her shine.
Do you want me to restart?
No. We're just going to leave this in.
You're doing amazing.
Okay, yeah. So what we have so far is that it's a new episode. Today is Thursday. We have a friend here who's in our social bubble, who you may or may not be able to see, and he did a nursing degree, and we're going to talk about that.
Nursing degree and in med school now. So.
And he's in medical school with us now.
What's up with that?
So like I didn't say, but I'm Haley, and these are my friends.
Hi, I am pal number 1 at Vate.
I'm Kylie.
That's Kylie. And we are joined today by...
Hey guys, my name's Abe.
There you
go. Happy to be here.
And as always, let's talk a little bit about what we got up to for the past 2 weeks, since we're on that bi-weekly schedule now. So, Advait, what have you been up to?
See, here's the problem. Like, past 2 weeks is... Like, I don't even know what
it's
I've
a
been
long
up to.
period of time.
It's a long period of time.
Kind of just all blends together.
The thing is, like, I've been doing nothing productive. I'm really behind in my classes. So...
Good.
That's great.
That's so great to hear.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be saying that I did productively.
How's your biking been?
Yes.
My biking's been fine. Yo, listen.
I'm listening.
People have been dropping out on my biking thing that I have been going with.
Invite me.
Okay, listen. You always seem busy. That's why
I am busy because I do homework.
That's what I mean. That's why I only invite like other degenerates who I know aren't doing work.
Okay,
Do you know what I mean?
I don't think you're a degenerate.
You're not a degenerate.
Your time management is
unique. He most definitely is.
Yeah, I most definitely am a degenerate. Like, we were playing, I shouldn't be saying this, but like, during some of our lectures, we were playing Among Us in our class.
You didn't invite me to that either!
Because you're probably paying attention to it, that's why.
I want to go off topic and talk about Among Us, though. Because I started playing last night.
It's like a cultural phenomenon.
It's very weird. I don't like...
Wait, who'd you play with?
The random people on the internet, obviously.
Oh, no, you have to play it with your friends.
No, I've been doing it online because I didn't know how to play and I didn't want to embarrass myself with you guys, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to play. But then people are so intense. Oh my god.
But it's like, have you seen there are like TikToks about it?
Yeah, Coochie. Is Coochie Man from Among Us?
Gucci Man?
Yeah. Have you ever seen that like Coochie Man TikTok?
No,
I'm
that
gonna
is
show you
not
guys this after.
This is something else.
No, they always have the little like spaceship dudes and then the Coochie. Okay, I'll show you after.
Oh, you mean
you
Fall
have to
Guys,
play with us. It's more fun.
Yeah.
Okay, well we'll play later tonight.
Because like I'm straight up like I'm the imposter and I'm like yelling at people like, no, it was you. I saw you do that.
No, that's what they do on the chat too. And
that's what I do. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then so I always pick that person who's like calling everyone else out. I'm like, it's obviously
we use voice.
We use
like
voice,
we get like we didn't do Discord because I can't do Discord, but we
did
like Zoom.
Because like we have.
Oh, that's fine.
And so you can actually talk. And Andrew is so funny. Andrew's one of our classmates. And just like
hilarious.
the best person to play with because he's just hilarious.
You know what's funny, Abe?
Do you play with them?
Oh yeah, I was playing during that lecture actually.
Yeah, he was playing with them. It was during the, I'm not going to say which one because I don't think I should be saying which one, but it was a lecture that we had on last Friday.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to say what lecture that was, but like we were all playing Among Us during that. And I don't know if you guys can hear us, but like some guy's rubbing his car. What a cool man outside. But
I feel like it's somebody dropping sheet metal.
Yeah, it's not. Abe and I thought it was the wind, so that's really loud.
I don't know.
How's that for a differential?
That was a good one. And you need to add the ding ding after that one.
You know what's really funny? Once again, probably gonna be deleted from our podcast.
We always say that, and then we all have all these clips where we're like, this is probably gonna be deleted.
This is Abe said this, okay? So Abe and I and Brandon were at one of our other friends' house. His name's, well, I don't want to say his name just in case he doesn't want to be it said, but he has a new cat. And so we were just like visiting, seeing his new cat, things like that. Mm-hmm. And I forgot what happened, but we were just talking about song lyrics and stuff like that. And then you guys know the song WAP, right?
Yeah.
So we started, we're just like reading the lyrics, right? Like, oh my god, this is like crazy. And like we're listening to Ben Shapiro say the lyrics because it's funny.
Have you heard the classical version of it, like the Celine Dion version?
No, I haven't.
I was on that
it's so good.
But what Abe said was the funniest thing ever. Abe was like, for gynecology, WAP should be on every differential.
Can you imagine if we made a study song? Oh my god. If we made a study song with all the different conditions that you can have in gynecology and reproduction, our YouTube channel would blow up.
I mean, if you want, I can't sing. If you want to make it,
We'll get auto-tuned. Oh my god, we would blow up.
No, it's like that TikTok of like what specialty matches the song or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
the
yeah.
right title for it, but
I mean,
gynecology would be wild.
look, differential diagnosis, like what's wrong with discharge WAP?
Like, I mean, that'd be a great thing to say to a preceptor and just watch what happens, you know? One of
I
the
mean,
things.
if they were hip, they would be mortified.
Yeah.
If they didn't watch TikTok, they'd be like, oh.
They probably wouldn't know what it was.
Yeah.
They'd be like, what's WAP?
But if they have kids, they'd be like, oh dear.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Well, that had nothing to do with my week, but that was just me talking in general.
So
Kylie,
Kylie,
What did I do this week?
What have you
what
been
did you
up
actually
to?
do this
Oh
week?
god, 2 weeks. Man, okay, time is really just like blended together for me
Yeah.
now. Like, it's just, I can't even keep track of days anymore, but like the days go by so fast, but the
They
weeks
really
go
do.
by so slow.
I don't know how it's like 6 o'clock today. Feels like I did nothing. 'Cause
Yeah.
I did do nothing.
second year has hit me like a train.
Yeah.
Second year?
I know,
Yeah.
right? I know, right?
I can't remember if last time if I said I went apple picking, but then I went apple picking again, and I really like apple picking, especially like down here because Windsor, the coronavirus cases have been
Low.
low, yeah, and like people are taking good like distancing measures. So like I went somewhere this weekend, and that was nice. I was kind of it's kind of interesting.
It was
to see.
better than her last time apple picking because I was there.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
definitely. But that was cool, and like it's interesting to see how like all the different businesses set up their like social distancing. Like they had pylons, and like then you like have to stay away from people, and everyone has their mask on. And when everyone has their mask on, life's so much easier. So I did that. And I ate a lot of.
Oh, you
I
ate
did.
that week? No way.
I ate. I drank water. I slept. I had the human physiological needs.
Did you brush your teeth?
Maybe.
That's a secret I'll never tell.
I know. I brush my teeth every day and I floss. Twice a
That's
day.
respect.
Oh no, I only floss once a day.
I mean, flossing,
Flossing's
Fortnite
difficult.
flossing in front of the mirror.
No, I can't do that. I can't figure out how to do that.
No, that's like my go-to move.
I was really opposite of Advait. I was caught up on school for once, so that was nice. And now I'm not caught up in school anymore after today.
I mean, you will be caught up.
No, I won't.
By the end of the week.
I have to do a module after this. I still have to do a module.
Like one of our class modules, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
It's
this-
108 minutes.
This week's like tick. Like,
so tick.
it's
Have
a
you
tick
looked at-
week.
All of the modules are like an hour or longer.
Some of them are like-
Have you looked at it?
No, one of them
I'll
on
look at it like week 7. not
on
now.
Friday. It's just one is 2.5 hours.
On Friday?
Yeah, there's only one.
What's the topic?
We get to do.
Obesity.
Oh, sorry.
Ooh.
My brain is so scattered right now.
What were you gonna say?
This Friday we get to do the quiz to see what specialty we get to match.
Oh, I
into
did it
for
this
PCW, so I already did it.
Yeah, what did you get?
Did you get what you wanted?
I got emergency medicine, 87%, no other specialty. I
Honestly,
think I had
I
like 1% something else.
43 gen surge, 37 emergency med, 9 anesthesiology, orthopedic surgery, internal med, obs-gyn.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like internally,
But mostly it was surge.
You can
Gen
answer
surge.
the
you
questions
can answer the
based
questions
on the
based
specialty.
on what you're already kind of interested in.
Yeah, but I tried not to. I tried to
But
be
it's
like.
really
no,
hard
it's
not
super
to. do
biased.
that.
It's
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 like-
straight up like,
but-
hey.
do you
To
like
be-
high octane action?
Exactly.
Well, I want
Are
to do
the
a merge, so.
Yeah, exactly. That's
They
exactly what happened.
showed us the website last year when I wanted to do internal med,
Mhm.
and I got my first 3 were emergency med, otolaryngology, and surge. I didn't
Wow.
get internal med in my top
So you have to do all of
5.
them
Yeah.
now. Yeah, like
Yeah,
5
yeah.
certifications.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
That's something Haley would do. Yeah, no, mine was like 87%.
How do you access
emerged.
this?
It's the links on the roadmap.
Okay.
Is that the A?
Is it something our viewers can do too, or no?
No, you have to have an AAMC number.
So if they're in medical school, they can.
Yeah.
I think the medical schools opt in.
Yeah, so if you're in medical school, you can. It's called Careers in Medicine, and you can go and it's just a quiz, and it matches you. But like the boys said, like it is kind of very much you can skew it to whatever you
boys.
want. So
The boys.
I
Me
wouldn't
and the
put
boys.
too much. But then our whole task is that we have to fill out a PCW. Well, that's one of our course names. Survey that says like, is this what you actually wanted to do? Is this the results you got? Why did you get the same results? And it's like very silly.
I have to talk about my
Wow.
feelings.
Wait, we have a PCW assignment? Like
yeah,
that?
for Friday.
I prefer the BuzzFeed quizzes anyway. So.
Yeah.
Same.
I don't
love
I don't
those.
like this highly database intricate one.
Statistically,
Yeah.
Wait, is that
proven.
PCW thing mandatory?
Yes.
Oh my god. Wait, how do you guys know about this?
We checked the schedule.
Okay, I'll check
Hey
it.
man, I don't know either, but I'm just pretending they're not saying it, so I don't. Just
I'll do it.
happy thoughts, no assignments.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, but it's like a little bit reassuring that like you get what you wanted, and you're
Yeah.
like, maybe I actually do belong in this specialty, because I don't think that I belong in the specialty that I want. But that's a talk for another day.
Oh.
If you match, you will.
Yeah.
Another thing I did this week is I finally learned how to use my phone schedule properly. So now,
Hey, congrats.
so now I'm looking back at my schedule to tell you guys what I did.
Wow.
I mean, you're done
Technology.
now.
I mean, but I'm
We
What
found
phone
out you
schedule?
ate. We found out you drank. You
You
brushed
found
your
out I
teeth.
flossed.
Yeah.
What phone schedule?
I like
What did
uploaded
you
my
fight
like
for?
school schedule into
Oh,
my phone
how are you
schedule.
feeling
So
about
now I
that?
can like
Yeah.
see everything I've done. Anyways, enough about me. Did you say what you did? No, you need to tell us what you did this week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like I've said a lot already. I'm an apple picking. I can't remember. I did a lot of school. I slept a lot.
You're literally just plagiarizing Kylie's answer.
I know.
Yeah.
How dare you eat as well?
Yeah. How dare you go?
How
apple
dare
picking?
you
I'm just a
sleep.
copycat. Honestly, sometimes I just wonder if I'm just trying to be Kylie.
How nice.
Flip's hair for those of you listening on Spotify.
But
Look,
this
Abe's already doing a better
upcoming-
job. He knows we
I
have
know.
people that like. When you have like a 50-minute video, people don't watch it. They just like put it on
Oh yeah, I
in
wouldn't
the
want.
background. Yeah.
I mean, I should.
Wait, you make it. What do you mean you don't watch it?
This upcoming
feel bad
week, I have
listening to
something
myself.
very exciting. I'm going to talk. Well, I'm not going. I'm zooming in to talk at Trent about life after Trent,
Hey,
the video series.
Nice.
So I think this is a new record. We're 5 minutes in. I've already
So like,
mentioned
Abe,
Trent.
what do you get up to this week?
We're actually
Me?
12 minutes in.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm
Tell
just
us.
messing. Yo, Haley, finish.
That's it. That's all I want to say.
Life after Trent.
Yep.
Do they bring in like somebody different every week, or is it
It's
like a...
no, there are like different themes. So my theme is pre-med and biomed, but I'm the only alumni from biomed because I was the first cohort that graduated, and the other two are older than me by like 5 years. One's a PhD at Toronto,
Oh wow.
and one it works at PARO, which is like the residents organization of Ontario, like medical residents. But she's not a resident; she works in like admin, I think. I don't know. I'm excited to hear about it. They both seem really cool. I kind of grouped them on LinkedIn. I don't think they'll ever listen to this, but if they do,
If they do.
I think you're cool.
What's up?
But yeah, it's going to be exciting. Hopefully I'll see some familiar faces in the crowd and say hi to some people because our Trent homecoming traditionally would have been this past weekend and it was canceled. And it was canceled. So that was very upsetting. People were posting pictures all weekend and it made me really miss Trent. So
What, you don't love our presence in school
Yeah, no,
here?
what is this?
I'm offended.
anyways,
okay.
Abe,
Abe,
what
how
did you
was
get
your
up
week?
to for the
Yeah.
past week?
Honestly, I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. So like, what happened these past 2 weeks? 2020's just been a train wreck.
2020 has been crazy.
A
Yeah.
train wreck inside a dumpster
Dumpster
fire.
fire inside of something else.
What's it? Is that what like
Iconic.
the CNN people
Yeah.
said?
Yeah,
Yeah.
after the debate. I mean, we don't need to go into
Like-
that because I have a lot to say, but.
What
Yeah.
a year where me and my friends get together to watch a presidential debate like it's a title card fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
like-
seriously, we're
We
sitting
gotta
there-
go to like a bar to go watch this presidential debate. That's
No,
how crazy
But
it
you
is.
So
can't
many
because
people on
there's a
Instagram.
pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, so many people on Instagram are making it like a drinking game, and I was like, oh, what a year.
Yeah, it's
You
like
go to Buffalo
I mean,
Wild Wings.
it's like the apocalypse, you know. Might as well have fun
Might as
before
well
you're about
enjoy
to. I don't know.
What a generation, man.
It is crazy though.
Have
Absolutely.
you guys heard the song? It's like low key F 2020.
Yeah, by Avenue B.
Yeah.
TikTok.
I haven't heard it. Listen, I'm gonna
it's
be
good.
honest.
It's a jam.
I have uninstalled TikTok a long time ago.
You never had it.
Why?
I had it for 2 days.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh,
Why?
I'm just gonna send you Reddit links of TikToks because I'm so cool.
Yeah, I hate.
I'm
when
too
you do
cool
that.
for
I
TikTok.
hate when you do that.
I think Ave's paranoid.
Listen,
He's scared.
No, honestly, there
You're
was
listening.
a bunch of like stuff. You know, it's not a need for me. It's not a need, but I was a little paranoid about like stuff I saw online about like Chinese
Yeah.
government surveillancing your
I mean,
phone
that's
and
why
like, but like
we did
Facebook
it.
already does that and stuff, you know.
Yeah,
But I was like, yo, I don't want more stuff going on.
That
like
is, I'm telling you, there's nothing better. There's nothing that brings me more joy in life than a targeted ad. And like, yes, please show me exactly what I was just talking about. That makes my
You're
life, that
invincible.
takes so
But, like-
many steps out.
No,
for
but like,
me.
listen.
You're invincible.
I watch a lot of TikToks already, but like not through TikTok, you know? There'll be like YouTube compilations of like, yo.
I know, but I want them to. I'm like, yes, I'll give you all my information because then you can show me the stuff that I need, and I don't have to search for it. And I think that's quite convenient, and I appreciate it. Also, I don't own any like nuclear launch codes, so what do I have to hide?
So that's where we differ.
Okay.
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 All right, moving on. Is that your week, Gabe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Presidential debate.
He's afraid.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
I think I just zoned out while you guys fight. I'm so used to now. Anyways,
So I think we're gonna hop into some questions.
yes,
here
but
for
before we
Abe.
start questions, I just want to say we do not represent the views of our institution. Everything that we talk about today is our views and our views alone, or Abe's views. This guy's the expert in this topic,
Yeah.
not any of us, so it's only his views. But starting with that, I just added a question, and I really want
I
you
think
to ask
it's the
that.
most important one, so I think you should ask it first.
Do you own a pair of figs?
I can neither confirm
For anyone who doesn't know, figs are this like scrub company that are literally everywhere.
So
They're so
comfortable.
cute.
I heard they're so comfy.
comfortable.
And I've
wouldn't
heard you
know,
look
but
fly in them.
How expensive are they?
Fig
though?
sponsor us.
Let's look it up right now. A funny story though, just talking about like government surveillance. My mom was talking to someone about figs once, and the whole next day, my mom obviously has nothing to do with like healthcare, and the whole next day, all she got was ads for figs on Facebook. So now I always think about that. But no, I'm gonna look them up right now.
Okay. While you're doing that, Abe, do you want to give us just a little overview of like your path to medicine? Just brief, like tell us about why you chose nursing, and then
sure, yeah.
give
I mean,
us
it
the
is a pretty
rundown.
loaded question.
It-
So.
Yeah.
It's a big question,
Yeah.
but like give us just the general
General.
overview.
Gist.
Mhm.
All right. I guess I'll just start with introducing myself again. So, hey everyone, my name is Abe. I did my bachelor's in nursing science at the University of Windsor, which is a 4-year degree. So, yeah, I'm a registered nurse now. Went through the program, wrote my NCLEX, got my RN, and then got to med school.
Did you work at all as an RN?
I have, yes.
How long did you work for?
So there was 2 periods where I did work. One was the summer between graduating nursing and medical school, just for, you know, the giggles.
Mhm.
And
The giggles.
the giggles. And the other time was, I guess, during the heat of the pandemic. I jumped back into it and was working on a COVID floor as a pandemic nurse. So that was,
Which is respect. That's actually respect.
Yeah, that-
Yeah.
it was an interesting experience,
Mhm.
to say the least.
So for like our viewers out there,
Mhm.
after high school, you went straight into nursing.
Yeah. So directly after, I did all the high school courses. That was so long ago, man. But
Yeah.
I did. I don't even think they're the same classes now, but everyone will be different no matter what high school you go to. But I guess just for some of our viewers that might not be in Canada, I know in the States nursing is more of a graduate program, so it differs a little. But here in Canada, it is a 4-year undergraduate degree, to which then it's also like a professional school. So yeah, right out of grade 12, I started nursing, and just went through the program like that.
And then you started med school right after nursing as well.
Yes, so I graduated in 2019, and I started medical school right after. So so I just had the summer off, and then I started right back up.
Yeah, and honestly, that's actually like crazy because usually whenever you see other people that have gone through nursing, it's very rare that somebody gets into medicine right after completing their nursing degree. So I think that's why a lot of viewers today might be interested in your story and like what tips you have to share and things like that. So.
But was your plan always to go into medicine?
So I think at a certain point, I decided to do medicine, probably much earlier than most people in nursing do. I mean, once again, these are just my own views and my own journey, right? So, I mean, everyone is different, but from what I've seen, a lot of people really just, decide at some point, hey, medicine might be the path for me. And sometimes, I'm not going to say it's never too late, but sometimes better early than late.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, at least for me, I really locked down on medicine in my second year of nursing.
Second year of nursing.
My second year of nursing. It was always a thought. It was always something I really wanted to do, but, I made my mind up, and I doubled down on pursuing medicine during my second year of nursing.
Yeah, and so once you made that decision, did you have to switch around any of your courses or take extra courses, or did the nursing because I know the nursing course is pretty much it's a set of courses. Like you don't get a lot of electives and freedom like you might in other degrees, or as much. So did you have to add anything on, or how did you make sure you had everything you needed for medical school?
So I think, and I even get this question from a lot of, I guess my younger colleagues in nursing, they ask this question, and every school is different, but from what I've seen, at least very generalized, is that nursing is not a pre-med degree. It is a professional degree, just like lots of other professional degrees. You graduate, you go to school to become a registered nurse or whatever nursing degree you're doing, and that is what they're going to teach you. So I had 0 prerequisite classes going through nursing, and the program itself was not designed to apply to medical school with. So knowing early, this is where that really helped. I kind of realized early on that, hey, if I just kind of go through with the nursing classes, I probably won't have what I need to apply to medical school. And I mean, once again, I guess it's a little Canada-centric, but it's where I am, and that's where I went to school.
I mean,
most of our
we're
stuff
all
is,
Canadian.
yeah.
Most of our viewers are Canadian.
Except
too.
for the one person in Australia.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to you. You're the real hero.
So you said it wasn't a pre-med degree, but did you find it hard, like knowing that you want to go into medicine while doing nursing?
Absolutely. I think when I say it's not a pre-medical degree, a lot of degrees are not pre-med traditional, but they're still very doable. I would say something like an arts and science degree or psychology are not pre-med degrees, but they're very doable to tailor your classes, and I think those are actually pretty good options. With nursing, the way it's designed is we have clinical rotations, so that really starts to muddy the waters. I'll just give an example. So, for example, like the University of Toronto, they have their full course load requirement, and once you fall under that, you lose your little weighting benefits, right?
Yeah.
I lost those going through nursing. I did not have that option because we have pass or fail classes, and sometimes our classes are under what they would consider regular course load because we would spend weeks in the hospital and we'd take maybe 3 classes on the side. So for me to kind of overcome that, I really had to overload. I was overloading about 2 classes a semester from that point on. So
Jeez.
From second year.
From second year on, I would just overload, and that kind of really, it was a lot on my plate, but I definitely do think it's kind of what gave me, it kind of shaped my degree to that way, but it's, I don't think it's designed for.
Yeah, I agree, because I view nursing, like you said, it's a professional degree where when you go into nursing, they're expecting you to come out as a nurse.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's wrong going to nursing and then wanting to be a physician after, because when you're working in the medical field, you see things and you want to have more responsibility sometimes, and that kind of motivates you, I guess, to pursue something further. But yeah, like it's definitely designed so that students can enter the program, graduate, and start working right away. I kind of view it similar to engineering, where engineering is the same thing. It's like it's trying to get you into engineering and then get you into the workforce right after you're done.
Yeah, engineering's hard, man.
And that's the problem too.
So much math. But the thing is,
Ridiculously
like,
hard.
you don't go into nursing to get a good GPA.
Yes.
That's what I've heard, is that it's like a
don't-
gauntlet.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think it's designed to give you a good GPA.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's designed to give you a bad GPA from what I've heard.
I'm not gonna. Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, but you have to work really hard. I mean, but yeah, no, definitely just some of the way things are designed. I feel like in a science degree, if you study hard and you put in the time, you will do well.
Right.
And it's a lot of work, but it's there.
Yeah.
Sometimes with nursing, you'll just be hit with not even objective, super subjective questions
Right.
that kind of limit how you can do. And it's like, well, this is not fair.
It's like med school.
Well, it's almost like med school, exactly. But
Yeah. So like, I understand getting high marks in nursing is really hard. So do you think those extra courses you took helped, like for your GPA that you said you overloaded a bit?
Yeah. So a lot of the times people think more is worse, and I also had that. That was a mistake I made in my first year of nursing. I decided to take a class off and just push it off to the summer, and I said, yeah, less workload. I'll do one in the summer. Cool. Not cool. Right? Because
Not cool at all.
not cool at all.
Not cool.
Because you just, I mean, that's something you have to be really careful of, maintaining your full course load and looking at school's requirements. Because once you play with that, you lose so many opportunities. You want to cast a wide net, not a narrow one.
Yeah.
And for me, when I took these extra classes, I had to work in them, obviously, but once again, they weren't nursing classes, and therefore, if I worked hard, I was able to get a high grade.
Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes that worked out really well because it would counteract some of the toxic classes I would have. Where
Toxic classes.
For lack of a better term.
we're calling it out. We're calling them
Report
out.
nursing classes for feeding.
You know, I mean, I learned a lot, and I definitely think a lot of the classes were amazing. But sometimes it was almost like a cap. I felt like I was being limited. I'm like, why can't I get these extra percents in this class?
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like, oh, I need a 100 from a 98. I'm just like, yo, can I please move above a 70? You know, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that really hurt with OMSAS and the GPA scaling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the extra courses you were taking, sorry, we're sticking on this a lot because like I feel like a lot of people are probably just curious.
Yeah, absolutely.
What kind of courses were they? Were they all science courses? Were they courses you thought would help you in medicine?
So this is for you, for my friends in Canada. For the US, this is completely different. You guys need your prerequisite classes. You need a lot of them. Yeah, you probably have to do them. But for my friends in Canada, a lot of schools in Canada don't have a lot of prerequisite or zero at all. Like I know Western, the school I go to, has 0 prerequisite courses. So while I did have a few of the sciences that I just managed to pick up, I had micro, organic chem, just, you know, other bio classes on the side, but I didn't need them. And that's where, you know, I was kind of free to pick. You know, if I heard a class was really good, take that however you want, I would take it. You know, and if I heard a class was really bad, I wouldn't. So.
And do you think taking those extra courses like helped you for the MCAT, and like also how else did you prepare for the MCAT? Because that's like a whole extra thing on top of all.
Yeah,
the
because you
coursework
guys don't like
already.
study physics. You guys don't really study chemistry.
We don't.
Yeah.
Period.
So.
I heard you do a lot of ethics, though.
We do a lot of ethics because, I mean, we do have patient exposure. We do run into those clinical scenarios in person. So that's nice. But for the MCAT, and that's really that's a whole topic on its own. But for me, at least, no. These prerequisite classes did not help at all. All of it was self-study. Nursing gave me very little preparation. Now, other people might disagree. They might be like, oh, you know, I mean, anatomy and physiology, sure, but how much does the MCAT really test on that?
Yeah,
Like
the
nothing.
MCAT is not medicine. That's
No,
what it
really,
is.
it's not.
It's all basic science.
It's not.
In my
Yeah.
opinion, it's a psychological test, like just to make sure you can like
Exactly,
handle
it's a
it.
stress
Yeah.
test.
It's a
Yeah,
stress
it
test.
is.
It's
It
not
honestly
truly
is.
like a knowledge
I
test.
came to that realization really recently. Actually, it's funny you should mention that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this test doesn't test anything except how well you can handle like being kicked.
I know.
Yeah.
That's,
You're down.
In the face.
down.
that's honestly like what I thought the test was. I thought the test was like seeing how well you can like schedule your own test and then study for on your own like time frame. You know what I mean? That's what I thought the whole like point of the MCAT was seeing how well you yourself can like
Be an adult.
I also think it's a little
Yeah.
bit of like and you've probably heard this expression before, but people say that going into first year med is kind of like trying to drink water out of a fire hose. Like there's just so much information being blasted at you, and the MCAT is like that. There's so much content that you're never gonna remember at all. So I think they're kind of testing like we're gonna throw a ridiculous amount of content that no or very few people could know 100% of it, and see what you do with that.
Yeah, like I remember none of the physics formulas. Like that's out of my brain completely.
I remember like the week before the MCAT, I was looking at some stuff and I was just like, well, I am accepting at this point that if I get a question on this, I'm not going to get the right answer.
Yeah.
I mean, my roommate's strategy for the MCAT was pick the highest or lowest number. And it worked for her, so don't use that though. I don't condone that method.
That was really bad advice.
Do not
was
use that method.
Super bad advice.
Yeah, that's extremely bad. She needs to stop telling people she did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we all have kind of our weird ways that we approached it. I guess for me, and I guess from a nursing specific, I just breezed through anatomy and physiology. I didn't even touch it because
Yeah.
that is taught to us in our program. But you know, the chemistries, the physics, the bio, all of that was brand new stuff. So I'm sitting here like, oh God, right? And I was like, if only I knew the content.
No, that's what. Yeah.
Right? You
Yeah.
know, some people are like, oh, you know, it's very difficult to apply. It's very. I don't even know.
Mhm.
I don't even know.
No,
so
I
where do
understand.
I begin?
Yeah.
But a lot of it was self-study, and personally, I didn't take a prep course. I just really sat down with my resources, gave it time, and you know, I studied. Right? Like
You
it's
let
not.
it marinate.
Yeah, right. I just rolled in those MCAT juices, and but yeah, no, I definitely think it's something that you just really need to study for it.
So when did you write the MCAT?
Okay. So I wrote it twice actually.
So
Okay.
I wrote it 3 times. So we're in like the multiple times squad.
Yeah. I would have given a 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You know what? Like.
Hey, if that's what you want to do, you got to do it. That's my vibe.
Yeah. Listen,
So-
MCAT is not easy. It's painful. It's excruciating. I think I was more happy to be done with the MCAT than I was to get into medical school.
Okay, that's not me.
That was me.
Honestly, it's
That
a
was
little
me.
bit like the relief of like
No.
I will
I would say
never
they're very
have to
similar,
write
yeah.
another
I will
MCAT.
never have to write another MCAT.
That is like a
That
very
was-
relieving
Yeah.
I was
moment.
free. I was like,
For
When I
me-
saw my score, I was like, thank God.
Yeah, I'm
And
out.
then I started crying.
yeah, I'm like, I'm out. I'm good. Never have to touch the MCAT again. Med school's cool. MCAT is, but you know, like, that was just me.
Mhm.
So I spent 2 summers studying for it. The first summer, I did it between 2nd and 3rd year. And at that time, I had consolidation. So summer clinicals.
Okay.
So I was studying for the MCAT while being in the hospital there.
Yeah.
And it sucked.
That's extremely hard, yeah.
Extremely hard. I was new. You know, I wasn't familiar with any of the content, right? So it was a lot. And I ended up going through with all of it. Didn't get the score I wanted.
Okay.
So from that moment on, I just wrote it the next summer. But between the 2 summers, I did cars every day because I thought,
Between the 2 summers, you did it every day for a year, pretty much.
yeah,
Did you just do like one like passage, like a Jack Weston?
Jack Weston.
Jack Weston, yeah, that's what I
Jack
used to.
Weston, yeah.
I think that's a good tip actually for
Mhm.
the whole like. It doesn't take a lot of time.
No.
No, yeah. If you're
I
doing
did
one,
every day for 8 months.
if you're doing well,
yeah, but you
yeah.
burnt yourself out.
I was quite.
If you
burnt out.
listen to the MCAT episode, Haley was
Yeah.
done by the end.
But yeah, no, I definitely think that at least for cars, and this is my personal tip, my car score was horrible. And you know, some people have it, some people don't. But I think you can work on it. It just takes time. You can't cram cars. It's like a muscle. You know, it's like working out, right? Working out or losing weight or anything like that. You gotta give it time, like
Yeah.
repeated.
This is
Right?
my car's muscle.
My car's muscles.
But
Been
like
a few
we were
years, so they're
saying,
gone
like,
now.
If
Yeah.
you just do a passage every night, like that, you could do that while you're brushing your teeth. Like it doesn't take time. And honestly, I think
That's crazy.
there's no way to like can
The
you
focus.
really?
The focus,
Yeah.
wow.
I brush my teeth pretty late.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that.
You can do it like before you go to bed though. I know
No,
what
you're right,
saying.
you're right, you're
We're
right.
just
Yeah,
pulling
yeah.
you
We know
apart,
what
making
you-
fun of you.
You know what
bed-
you mean.
Bedtime routine.
We're making
Yes.
fun of you.
But yeah, I'm
Like
used
always.
to it. But
Oh, yeah.
No, I was impressed.
it's like that's like the only way that you can. I feel like cars isn't something that you can like otherwise study for. Like you can't read a textbook. I had a textbook on cars as part of
Yeah.
my prep course, and I thought it was the most useless textbook
yeah,
in the
I think
file.
So
they're
The
useless.
Like-
classes are useless too in the prep course. They're like, do it like this.
You
Let's
have to just keep
practice.
doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I think I read the Princeton Review book too, and I'm like, that's not how I do it. And like, I'm doing fine without it.
Actually, no.
I never read my own book. Like,
No with a heart.
yeah.
but like that's enough about the MCAT. Like, we have a whole episode on that, and we have a lot of other stuff to tackle.
Yeah, I guess just one thing to throw it in.
Mm-hmm.
Having zero background, just know that you're going to have to. I mean, maybe a tip I would give if I could talk to myself in the past was, I guess on your off time, just kind of brush up on the stuff on your own. You know, so it's not completely new because you're going to be going into brand new stuff against people who've done degrees in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's one thing to learn how to do the MCAT. It's another thing to know what's on the MCAT.
Right.
So you don't have to be dealing with both.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think it's good
It's really good advice.
I'll ask you the next question. I think so. The next one we have is why did you decide to go to med school and be a physician and not a nurse practitioner?
Okay, so I guess why medicine in the first place?
Yeah,
It's,
I mean,
it's probably a good place to start.
Yeah.
But I think for me, there was a time where I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do. You know, healthcare seemed very appealing, but I wasn't 100% on it, and I didn't want to, you know, like some people know they want to do medicine. Like they'll come out, you know, straight out the cervix, right? Boom.
Straight out the cervix.
straight out the womb, like
Not even out of the vagina yet.
No, no,
Like,
just
they're
first out
named-
the
No.
cervix.
Straight
they're
out,
named
grab
birth
the
canal,
doctor's stethoscope, and
they
this is
know.
mine.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Give me that.
That's my
They
stethoscope.
go out, they're like, hey, buddy, watch out. I'm going to be here to take your job in a few years.
Right?
Back up. I'm delivering myself.
Can you imagine? There's like a really small baby, just like yeah.
You know, like yeah, they'll like sew up the episiotomy on their way out. Like, just sew it out, and just so
Don't
strong
worry,
was
Mom,
their,
I got you, Mom.
so strong was my desire to help people. You know, right? I knew at a pretty early age, not like other people. At the age of 5, like I knew at like term. You know, like 37 weeks on the dot.
That's not you though.
That was not me.
That's not you though.
I actually found
No.
out pretty late. You know,
Yeah.
at like the age of say 7.
Yeah. Very
Nah,
late in
I'm
the game.
kidding.
Very late in the game.
Very late in the game. I was
Yeah.
already behind because I had
Second year
publications.
uni, right? Second year uni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think in grade 12, I knew I wanted to do healthcare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? But like I said, I didn't want to put in all this work to get into medicine and be like, I hate this. Or even worse, be stuck in medicine and one day wake up at 40, 50, sitting on the side of my bed just like what did I do with my life?
Yeah.
Seriously, like, I regret every second of this. So I was like, yo, I want to be kind of sure that I like healthcare.
Mhm.
So what gave me the best option to get my foot in the door? And like, I wanted healthcare experience, you know, like shadowing, everything looks cool. Volunteering, everything looks cool. But like, I want the nitty gritty, right?
Yeah.
Patient care, I want people, you know, like I wanted to deal with that. So I said nursing's the fastest way. And if I hated it, I'll cut. I'll cut whatever. It's another semester, you know, I'll rearrange to a different path, right? But I ended up going in, and I really like nursing.
Mhm.
So nursing was amazing, but there was times where, and I feel like this maybe really pushed me, I'd be like, oh, that's so cool. Why do we do that? And they'd be like, oh, no, don't worry about that. That's not for you. That's for the doctor. Which I don't think is the right way to do things. I think anyone who wants to learn should be told. But a lot of the times I was told scope of practice, that's not for you to do. That's what the physician does. Don't worry about that.
I think that has to do a lot with like insurance and just liability as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I can also
But-
see it's valuable to like for
No,
a nurse
yes,
to know
yes.
I agree.
the background.
I don't think it's an
behind the
insurance thing,
procedure.
Advid, honestly.
You don't?
No, I think genuinely it was just other nurses that I was working with who, you know, and I think it's maybe a little stigmatized. So for anyone who, and I don't know why it is, and I don't think it should be, I think
Mhm.
nurses make amazing doctors.
Mhm.
You know, I think that's very valuable, and diversity is what makes medicine strong.
Mhm.
You know, people from all sorts of backgrounds coming together. You know, everyone brings their own little thing with them, right?
Yeah.
Piece of pie to the table.
Exactly. Right? It's like a potluck, but for healthcare.
I like
But,
it.
Yeah. So, but a lot of the nurses really, and not a lot, there were some amazing role models I had during my time in nursing. But there was a few where, you know, I felt almost stigmatized, and I got a lot of flack for it. You know, I got a
For
lot
trying
of...
to do something extra.
Exactly, for trying to do medicine. And I didn't like that. It almost got to the point where I learned I had to hide it. And I shut my mouth about wanting to do medicine to anyone, you know, like my instructors or some preceptors, sometimes they would, you know, give me a little flack for it, some of the nurses on the floor. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it kind of made me feel like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't because I'll just get in trouble for saying this. But, you know, that was a really good point you bring, right? If someone wants to know why we're doing something, you should tell them, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's more like, oh, you're interested in what they're doing here? Don't look at that. You're in school for this. And I don't think that's the right approach. I think, you know, health is
Yeah,
very-
and you're in school to learn too, right? And
There we
I think
go.
that's the biggest thing where it's
Mhm.
like, why is a boundary being drawn? Like, I understand they're probably not going to let you do the procedure.
Oh, I didn't ask to do brain surgery.
yeah,
believe me.
yeah. But
Well, I would
Can
like
I
to.
operate?
Can I operate?
well, like, why not learn, you know?
Yeah.
You're in that learning environment anyway,
Mhm.
so.
No, it was definitely like that really kind of pushed me towards it. So I was like, okay, well, if that's not my scope and I'm
Mhm.
interested in that, and you keep telling me I shouldn't know that, if I want to know that, I should go to medical school, right? Okay, if you like that, go to medical school. So I said, okay, I'll go to medical school.
Here you are.
Here I am.
So,
I think that's interesting you bring that up because I've worked with a few nurses,
Mhm.
because I worked at a family health team and I've worked with nurses in medical school, and nursing is such an important profession. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
this is a really,
Absolutely.
really hot topic right now on like Twitter and in the world. And so like I think it's like
Twitter is your world.
Okay, I mean I don't tweet, but I do read Twitter a lot. But no, like something I'm noticing is that like there's this whole debate about like nurse practitioners, scope of practice, like what you were saying.
Yeah.
And like I guess like I just want to make it clear that all of us believe that nursing is a great profession and we totally respect nurses and they have a really hard job. But I agree, like I think it's so important. Like and I was speaking with a nurse a while ago and she was like, yeah, like it's important for nurses to know like the background behind the procedure because they have a different perspective than physicians, and sometimes they bring that perspective up to the doctor. You can comment on this because you heard the exact same talk. But like I think it's important that they have that knowledge too, because then if they disagree with something, like what you're saying, it's a team. Everyone brings diversity and a piece of pie to the potluck. So yeah, that's very interesting that they didn't want you to learn. And I don't think it's a liability thing either. Like it's just knowledge. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Yeah, the liability thing, I thought you meant like actually doing stuff. Not like brain surgery, obviously, but you know,
Yeah. No.
other
definitely.
things that were like reserved for the physician.
Definitely. No.
But yeah, in terms of just learning, like why not?
Yeah, why not, for sure. And I think you asked something about the nurse practitioners
Mhm.
is what you want to go on. It
Yes.
is a hot topic. It's an insanely
Yeah.
hot topic.
Especially in the States.
Yeah.
It's a hot topic here too, but in the States, it's like a lava.
This
topic.
is like a huge debate that I don't think
Yeah.
we need to totally go into, but yeah, like the NP versus PA versus MD versus DO.
versus. I was gonna say a
Chiropractor.
joke, but like I don't have I'm not quick-witted enough to like make a joke.
Yeah, no, but like it's a very hot topic right now.
No, absolutely. So I guess where I put my, I don't know, where I stand
Yeah.
in this. I guess I am a registered nurse, so I'm a nurse. You know, I've worked as a nurse. I've worked with physicians. I've worked with other nurses, PAs, respiratory therapists, NPs. You know, and to all my other healthcare members that I'm missing, I'm sorry. I don't mean to exclude you. I don't want to.
There's just too many.
It's a long list.
It's a
There's
long
lot
list,
of
right?
people.
And that brings a good point because since it's such a long list, you got to realize that things aren't done by doctors alone.
Yeah.
No
right?
way.
I promise you, lose your nurses for a day and realize how like.
Honestly, we even need volunteers at the hospital because like when I used to volunteer at the hospital, I would just be moving patients after they finish surgery, and like if we're not doing it, I mean the volunteers, then a nurse would have to do it, and that's like a nurse that could be helping out another patient. So honestly, every single member working at the hospital has a specific role. They're there for a reason. It's not like they're just getting paid to do nothing.
Yeah.
Everyone's important. Everyone plays into this giant ecosystem, which is healthcare.
And I think
Yeah, for sure.
I think just to add maybe a bit more background to this. So I guess NPs and PAs are what people would call mid-levels, along with optometrists
Yeah.
and other. They would call them mid-levels, and there is a need for them in the system, and that's why they exist. Now, I mean, if I had to put in my own personal bias, I guess maybe, it's very difficult for nurses who have gone through practicing to go back to school and do med school. Or sometimes it's impossible. It's shut off to them. Their GPA has been done in the past. You know, they had no thoughts of wanting to do that. And now they're not allowed because of how the system works. So what do these nurses with 30 years of experience in the emergency room and the ICU, you know, do with this vast amount of knowledge? You know, they want to go apply it somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that's where they will look into things like nurse practitioner, you know, where it would give them a wider scope because these are things they've been doing and seeing for years.
And this is why, like, med school itself is so flawed, the application. Like, you're going to tell me a nurse with, like, 10 years of experience working in the ER is not qualified to be in med school, but, like, me, who did a biochemistry degree, who knows, like, nothing about medicine, is getting to med school. Like, I'm going to be honest, like, it is flawed, and everyone knows it's flawed. But the problem is, like, there's no quick solution to it because they can't be looking at applications. Because then, like, there'd be such a large application pool. And it'd be so hard to like go through that. What do you even use to like, you know,
wean people down
Yeah,
and select for criteria?
it's
No,
crazy.
for sure. But I definitely think that's part of it. You know, like we have other nurses in our program, but from as far as I can tell, I was the only one to just do a straight out of undergrad.
Yeah.
A lot of them had to go back and do another bio degree, which, you know, think about the time commitment. Some people go, why would I put 4 years to another undergrad, then another 4 years into medical school, then residency?
Yeah, because some of these people have families too.
Exactly,
Right?
that's
And not
10
even
years.
time, money.
Money as well.
It's a
Oh
lot
my
of
God.
money.
Yes, so much money. So when I'm presented with the offer of 2 years to do a nurse practitioner degree, you know, it's
That's online too for the most part.
yeah. You know, I think the water's been muddied with these online programs and things like that. I think there's very esteemed nurse practitioner programs which have great clinical experience and are done in person under accredited institutions. On the other hand, we have programs where you can get an online certificate.
Yeah.
Right? But
I mean, we don't need to go into this topic, but there's some schools that I'm surprised that their program's online based on the institution.
yes.
Just
I think a lot of it is so that nurses can continue to practice while they're getting
You got
their
it.
which
Yeah.
is
the
Yes,
NP,
yes.
Yeah.
No, for sure. I think when a program is designed to be online and it's through an accredited institution, I mean we're all online now, right? The Zoomocracy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Did you just say Zoomocracy?
yeah.
I kind of love that. I can steal that.
Zoomocracy.
Yeah, we live in a Zoomocracy, you know, like that's the world we live in.
We live in a society.
right?
I need Microsoft Teams.
Right? The other party, Microsoft Teams, man.
No.
Or
Or like,
that?
what's the other one? Blackboard Collaborate, the bane
Ew.
of the devil.
Right?
No.
The devil.
Ew, that's disgusting.
Anyway, sorry.
Do you guys remember Skype?
Yeah, imagine
Yeah.
dropping the ball that
hard.
Being
Yeah.
20 years ahead of the game and
And
losing
then
to
just-
Zoom.
Yeah.
Zoom came out. Okay, I'll be honest. Zoom came out of nowhere. It was randomly like, oh, we're gonna use Zoom now. I'm like, what is this?
I know.
Yeah.
And everybody knew what it was.
Never heard of this in my
Everybody knew what
life.
it was except for us.
And then meanwhile, Skype is like, guys.
Guys, I'm still here.
Guys, can I sit with you?
Skype always lags my computer though.
Yeah, I
like on
like mine
startup. On startup.
I don't like the Skype sound. I just don't like
it.
it.
It is annoying sometimes.
I don't
yeah.
like it.
Yeah, Skype's just so pushy.
Yeah.
You know, Zoom gives me some space. You know, Skype's
Yeah,
just like in your
Skype's
face.
like always in the background.
Yeah,
on,
it's like,
right?
hey, bro,
Yeah.
hey
Yeah.
man, hey, you want to use Skype?
I feel like
Hey,
Zoom.
hey, I'm here. Use me. Use me.
There's Zoom, and you get on your camera, and the other person's on their camera, and there are no bells or whistles, and it's just fine.
Yeah.
But in the latest update, you can see like 40 people on your screen now.
Really?
On one page.
On Zoom?
Yeah, I just
need
got.
to update it.
I just updated
crazy.
today after our class this morning.
Is everyone just like super tiny?
Yeah, I guess so.
I kind of like that though. We could do those funny TikToks. Anyways, in the interest of time, so because I know it's getting late, there's another question on here. This is a hot topic because I've heard a lot about this. Who did you approach for your references?
Woo.
It's a very hot topic.
So surprisingly, and this is a hot topic, I guess a lot of the times with nurses, you don't want to go ask the wrong person for a reference.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because like you're saying, it has like that kind of.
It's stigmatized.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely stigmatized. I think my program has been very good to me, save for a few instances, but my program's been very good to me. But I think what you want to do is, you know, develop rapport and a very strong bond for, you know, whoever you're working with. I think a clinical instructor that you've worked with can be an amazing reference. They've seen you in the clinical place, you know,
Right.
in the hospital. Like, I think that's worth its weight, you know? So, but you want to be sure that, you know, you have that type of bond with them. So for me personally, I asked a clinical instructor, and then just like everyone else, you know, there was a job I worked at, it was my manager. She wrote me an amazing reference letter, and some extracurricular I was doing on campus with student council. I had someone write me a reference letter from that. So,
Okay.
yeah. So I mean, a lot of people do stress about, oh, should I ask this person? They might give me
Yeah.
a bad reference letter, and
Honestly, if that's like your question, that this person might give me a bad reference,
Don't
like,
ask
them. Then don't ask them.
Don't ask them.
Yeah.
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 It should be like 100% like, yeah, this person's gonna hook me up.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. This person, like, you know, they really value the bond we have, and they would want this for me, and they would
Yeah.
say good things about me. You know, you can really see the signs before, you know, where, you know, some nurses, and this is, I think, is a small percent. I'm picking out bad apples here,
Mm-hmm.
but some nurses will have, you know, negative views of physicians, and this all probably comes from experiences, and, you know, I'm sure they've dealt with physicians who might not been the greatest.
Mhm.
And they really hold on to these biases and these experiences. So when they see a young bright-eyed nurse saying they want to go to medical school, it gets to them sometimes.
Yeah.
So you can snuff this out fairly easily, but I think it's definitely worth being cautious about.
So if you hadn't gotten into med school, were you gonna work as an RN, or like what was your backup plan?
So that was a nice thing about nursing.
Yeah, you had the best backup.
I wouldn't even call it a backup plan. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
yeah,
a
it's not
career.
your
Yeah,
backup.
yeah, that's not really a
I mean,
backup plan.
you went into university to do nursing initially,
Yes.
so it's
Yeah.
not really backup.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think I consider it a backup personally, and you're right. As
Yeah.
in, medicine was my passion and what I wanted to do. But as far as something to do on my time off, if I didn't get in, you know, people always ask that. What would you do during a gap year? I would just work as a nurse.
Yeah, you're
Clinical
registered.
experience, great pay, great job, great experience. You know, yeah, I'd work.
And then
And I have
would
worked.
you keep applying for medicine?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would. Yes.
All right. Next question, moderator. Sorry, Haley and I are both looking at the dogs.
So you mentioned that like you didn't decide you wanted to do medicine for sure until second year, and it was kind of like it was definitely more difficult to get everything you needed. If you could go back and decide like in grade 12 that you wanted to do medicine, would you have gone for a different degree? Like would you change the path you took if you could?
So that's a question I get. People ask me, hey, would you do nursing again? And just a disclaimer, I think I got really, really lucky.
Mhm.
Like all the stars aligned and I got lucky, and somehow here I am, very grateful to be here. I absolutely would do nursing again. You know, the experiences I got, the person it's made me, I love it, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. Now, if I was to give the same advice to someone else, I would just tell them to be very, very cautious, because nursing as an undergraduate degree is not designed for you to go into medicine.
Yeah.
I would tell them to do something that would help them maybe do better academically, something they enjoy, and something that would help them do well in the MCAT. Because at the end of the day, we all learn medicine here, and in the beginning, sure, I knew what the 5 vital signs were. Ooh, and everyone's like, whoa, this guy's so smart. I'm like, no, give it a week, guys. Give it a week, guys.
I remember when this guy buzzed in. It was the first week of school, and then they asked, like, oh, what are the 5 vital signs? He said, or no, they asked what are the 4 vital signs, not even 5.
Oh.
They asked what are the 4 vital signs, and he's like heart rate, blood pressure, respirate, temperature. Oh my god, I almost forgot. And then he's like, oh, there's one more too, O2 stat if you want. And
No,
then
it was like,
I remember the physician was like, oh, okay.
Right?
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
the funny thing is that this is how. So we have these buzzers on our desks, okay? And he knows exactly where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
And these cameras, and it zooms in on you when you want to ask a question. And this is how Abe talks to the buzzer. He buzzes in and he goes, I think the answer is temperature, blood pressure, heart rate, and like it's
He does
the
like an
funniest-
ASMR.
yeah, and he goes so close to the microphone.
He does like an ASMR to the mic.
He leans right in. It's quite amusing, and honestly, I have missed it now that we're on Zoom, and I feel like you should do that to your camera more often.
I feel like you should too.
like
really
buzz
bring
in
us
on
back
Zoom
in that environment.
and like just
He
get
should
right in there.
He should have done that during this interview, like, hey guys, my name's Abe.
So there's a story behind
You're not
why I
watching
do
with
that.
headphones. Okay, tell us the story.
There's an
Yes.
origin story
Tell
as
us
to
the
why I do
origin
that.
Story.
In undergrad, back when I went to class, you know, after a point I
Back in the
stopped,
day.
back in the day.
I used to raise my hand to answer a question, and sometimes they wouldn't hear me. And I hated that. I'm just like, never mind. You know, like I don't want to. Right? If my answer was more than 3 words, I didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I hate having like talk, and they'll be like, could you repeat that? And everyone's looking at me. I'm like, no. So now I'm like, here's my microphone. I'm gonna put my lips on this thing and speak into it. Like,
I
no,
love that.
no.
So funny.
Love that.
No.
This is throwing me back to last year. Now I'm all nostalgic about sitting in a classroom.
Yeah, it was
Sad.
fun. Yeah, it was fun.
Okay, now we have some fun questions.
Yes.
All the others weren't fun.
They were.
I mean,
did you guys have fun?
Yeah, did you have a good time?
Welcome, yeah.
That's all that matters. Start.
Okay, very important. Yeah, just think about your answer carefully.
Very wisely here.
Who is your favorite member of Tachy Talks?
Look at that little hand.
I was warned that this question would be on here, and I thought long and hard about it. I actually slept on it.
Oh, good.
And the only answer I can give is, since I'm a guest speaker on this show, it's me.
Oh my god.
That's
I'm
a
on
good
Tachy
one.
Talk. I'm on
He
Tachy
got
Talk.
us.
That-
He got us.
You need to have a
Jesus,
little sound
all
effect in there.
number
That
one
was
fan.
good.
Full support.
We need to ask that question to everyone who comes on now.
As long as you didn't say Haley or Kylie, I'm fine with that. I am fine
I'm a
with
little
The loss of an enemy is a win for you.
Yeah.
Okay, now these are actually, I found these online. So, like, I love this one. If you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be and why?
Okay. Who even knows different kinds of trees?
There's
Oak,
oak, maple,
maple.
pine.
Have
A
you
tree
guys-
would have been like an
listen.
apple tree or a Christmas tree.
Have you
Those
guys
are
ever
the two
played
kinds.
RuneScape?
Yes.
Yeah,
No.
so that's how you know what kind of trees there are in life.
I was not building trees in RuneScape. I
You
was
cut the trees.
stabbing people.
You cut the trees. You also stab people. though.
I didn't play.
I was getting scammed by people who
Honestly,
to give me investment returns.
Listen, I changed my gender on the game. I initially started off as a guy. I changed it to a girl. And then
For the perks.
the
The
people would
boyfriends.
give you free money.
Yeah.
For the boyfriends.
Wait, okay, speaking of online boyfriends and stuff, did you guys ever play Hubba Hotel or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No, I never did.
No.
Iconic.
Fuck you.
No idea what that is.
Okay, so what kind of tree would you be?
I think I'd be a maple tree.
For why?
Because
Maple
he's
syrup, and I'm
so
Canadian.
sweet. Look how sweet he
He's
is.
so sweet.
I know.
Aw,
100%
cute.
That was a good answer.
You're not 100% Canadian, dude. I mean, you have your Canadian passport, so that works.
You're Canadian.
Yeah,
you
bro.
are Canadian.
Yeah, babe,
You
what
are
the heck, man?
You need to get up right now and sing "O Canada."
And you need to do the second half in French.
French.
So what's the next
Okay, maybe I'm
question?
not 100% Canadian. Maybe I'm not 100%.
Okay, last question. This is a hard one, and I'm actually tripped out by this. Is cereal a soup?
No, it's cereal.
But like you add the milk and it's like a liquid with like ingredients in it. What changes that between that and chicken noodle soup or like a gazpacho, which is a cold soup?
I don't know. It's soup.
That's a good question. I don't know.
See, this is
What?
gonna be something I'm gonna ponder for a
Does
long
soup
time now.
require like stock? Is that like a definition?
I don't think
No,
so.
because what about when you have like cream of whatever soups? I don't think those have stock.
Don't they
in them.
start with stock?
Yeah,
or
they might
put-
still have, like,
they
chicken
start with
But like, if I
stock
pick
and
up
then-
lake water
I
and
was
drink it, is
always
that a
under-
soup?
No, that's a
The
parasite called
impression that,
Giardia.
Majority of it's
cream of broccoli soup is just like you put broccoli and cream in a food processor. And
You think
spin
that's
it
all
around.
cream? All of it?
No, like I think it's mostly broccoli. I think broccoli turns into a cream when you put it in a food processor.
Yeah, no.
That's my
no,
belief.
I think you need to like cook a little bit more.
No.
Okay.
That's like.
You need to watch
no.
Gordon Ramsay more.
No.
No, I think we just need to make her soup. Next time.
I
we
don't
make her
enjoy
soup.
So did you ever find out how much figs were?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Abe's looking at my screen
Circle
right now.
around.
All right, so men's scrub pants. These ones are 76.
Just pants.
Just pants. $76.46 Canadian.
So it's like Lululemon for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Lululemon
Yeah.
is-
Okay, wait. Let me
That's
look at the
Lulu's.
women's. Because I also want to know. Wait. Scrub pants.
Wouldn't it be the same?
So if you wear figs, you're probably
No,
an
women's clothes
influencer.
are always so much more
But
expensive.
aren't scrubs
Or you
like
don't touch
unisex?
patients.
Oh yeah, the
No,
women's
they-
are the same.
Sizes.
They make women's ones that are like not unisex because the whole point is that it's awful to go to the hospital and put on unisex scrubs because you look like a sack.
You know,
Okay, the
they
tops
fit
are
different.
also like
They fit
65
different.
bucks.
They fit
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
So that's like
Figs
120
are
bucks.
nice.
I mean, for that price, it better feel different.
Yeah, you know,
What color
Honestly,
do you have?
I wouldn't like roll up.
I'm trying to trick you.
baby blue.
Oh, that's a color that I think I would get.
I wouldn't roll up to an observership in figs though. I feel like that'd be weird.
No, that'd be
Pretentious.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot.
Because
I
like,
might roll up to clerkship and scrub.
listen,
over, like,
if
the
I was
second
super
half.
smart and I knew all the answers, I would do it. But like, if I'm gonna roll up wearing that and then like not be able to answer anything, I'd just look an
Yeah.
idiot.
What
But it
doesn't
also
matter if they
depends where
hated
you're
you.
going because like if you're going to the
Doesn't matter if you know the
OR,
answers.
you have to wear hospital.
See, I've never quite understood where you're supposed to wear which scrubs, but this is a topic for not now.
I mean, I think those would be pretty good pajamas too to sleep in.
So if you wear figs, private
120
practice.
pajamas.
Yeah.
Private practice.
You're a
Oh,
dermatologist.
There we go.
Plastic surgery.
There we go, right?
Yes.
That's where you wear the figs. If you're gonna get blood, guts,
All right,
and
where are we on time right now?
We're done. So
We're
that
done.
was a nice hour. Goodbye.
Okay, so thank you so much for joining us this week. Abe, it was lovely to have you.
Yes, it was great.
I think if any of our nursing listeners out there have any more questions, you can probably get in touch with Abe.
Get in touch with us as well.
Get in touch with
and
us.
Then we can ask
and
him.
we can ask Abe,
Yeah,
so you don't fill them up.
please talk
feel
to
free
me.
to hit me up via Instagram. I have an Instagram page.
We
where-
will put his.
Oh, what's your
Oh, yeah, he has
cool
I
Instagram
answer
page.
questions. I answer questions.
Is
that
that
people are
Mula
interested.
and
Yes.
yes?
So
Mula-MD.
Abe
Underscore Mulandi,
has
right?
like an Instagram page to answer your questions and stuff, and we'll put it in the description.
He has good
Yeah.
photos on there
of
too.
everything. So it will be on our Instagram and it will be in all of the episode descriptions.
He's a very
if you
beautiful
want it.
man.
Please follow him. He's
Yeah,
great.
give him a follow. Even if you're not in nursing, he's a
Just-
great person to
yeah.
follow. Lots of fun
you,
things
thank
going
you,
on.
thank you.
I mean, anybody who's our classmate is pretty cool because they're in class with us. So,
It's us swearing off on them.
but yeah, thanks for joining us this week.
Episode 13.
Episode 13, lucky number 13.
Lucky number
And
13.
we're going to have lots of content coming for you soon as we have a break. Will that be ever in our lives again? That is to be determined. But
I've been on a break since summer, so I
no
don't
matter
know.
what, we'll see you again in 2 weeks. So
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.